Okay, important channel update. How do I put this? I'm in a bit of a pickle. You guys might know I get a few hate comments now and again on this channel. I'm not talking about people that disagree with my opinion on certain topics. That's fine. I encourage that on this channel. But for the first time, I got an attack from a person promising to destroy me because I said Pierre Poilievre was rage baiting his followers. Now, I'm not going to give this guy clout by revealing his name. But if you're interested, you can find him in the comment section on my YouTube channel. The title of the video was Pierre Poilievre falls to disgraceful new low, rage farming. If you watch the channel, you've probably seen that video, so you know the context. If you haven't, go watch the video. Here's why I found this particular attack a little funny. There was a lot of colorful language used that I won't repeat here. Lots of accusations thrown. One of those accusations was that I am not Canadian. I am, okay? I'm also Nigerian. Those two things can be true. I know, shocking, right? This guy also found out my real name and thought he made a brilliant discovery. See, the problem with that is my name has never been hidden. Like, my online community calls me Wolf because of the name of the podcast. My name is Victor. I do not hide that. When I live stream, my real name is right there. So YouTube people know a bit more about me because I stream there, right? Anyways, here's where it gets even funnier. So this person has a YouTube channel of their own. They have something like 5,000 subscribers. Now in my head, as this guy was coming at me, it was like, well, why would a person with 5,000 subscribers be harassing a creator with not even 1,000 subscribers? It seems a bit odd, right? Anyways, how about that? Let me tell you about the threat. So this guy said he will dig up everything he can find about me because he's some sort of computer genius. That's the way he said it. Like, it was that's exactly what he said. This guy said he would dig up everything he can find out about me and make a hit piece, like a video that will destroy me. And I said, in my mind, I was like, I've never seen someone that committed to fighting someone they don't know. And I was shocked. I said, please go ahead, because, you know, this could be my celebrity moment. I could go viral. But it was what he said next that was actually quite disappointing. He said he doesn't show his face and he uses an AI voice in his videos. I said, what? Like, really? You're going to make a hit piece on me, but you're going to use an AI generated character and an AI voice? Like, have some cojones, my guy. Like, I was very hurt by that. Like, as I was watching my celebrity moment slipping away. Now, I'm curious if he actually follows through, to be fair. That conversation actually took a weird turn. Now, usually I try to engage with people, and sometimes I can at least de-escalate the tension, and we end up becoming friends, and they subscribe to the channel, and I can introduce them to a world where life doesn't need to be black or white. You know, those moments are great when a person busts into the chat angry about something I said in a video, in the title or in the thumbnail, just somewhere. They're really angry. They burst into the chat and they say something wild. To be fair, I've actually had someone who watched like 1 minute of a 15-minute video I made and decided they knew everything about me and the channel and came in spewing fire and brimstone. Like, no matter how you come, I try to de-escalate and find common ground, or at least less antagonistic grounds. Some of you that are my current subscribers have had that experience with me. I try not to fight with people online. Like, there's no point to it. But it doesn't always work. With this guy, the conversation took a very weird turn. He somehow went from threatening to destroy me to complaining about how the algorithms are not fair. Yeah, I know. wild hop there. I don't really know how that became a thing. Anyways, he basically said, how can a channel like mine be allowed to post propaganda? I don't post propaganda, but he said, how can a channel like mine be allowed to post propaganda and he gets censored or blocked if he posts certain far-right content? I said, well, that's bullshit. That's not true, because lots of channels post clearly partisan comments. Many of those are right-leaning. I'll give you some examples here. Moose on the Loose, Northern Perspective, Viver Frey tends to be particularly inflammatory in his language, and none of these people have had their channel taken down or blocked. At the same time, there are many channels on the left like Rachel Gilmore and Steve Boots, right? They do a great job in their own lane. So it is simply not true that you cannot post content that favors a side. Even with me, some of my videos lean more in one direction sometimes, right? I never had a problem. So as we talked, me and this dude, it began to dawn on me that this guy really thinks that he should be able to go around harassing and threatening people on video and maybe in chats and going around hounding people in chats and making claims on anything he wants without consequence. He said this is why he hides his face and his voice, because of fear of censorship. And I said, well, don't be a bellend and no one will have to take down your content. But you can't just go around threatening people because you don't agree with them. Anyways, I was quite disappointed. It turns out this guy was just a coward like many a keyboard warrior. Anyways, update 2. Here's update 2. If you've watched the channel long enough, you know that this channel is centrist. We critique the liberals and the conservatives as needed. It's not every time it's negative. I post the exact same content on YouTube and TikTok. But here's the problem here. The YouTube algorithm seems to think this channel is right-leaning. Don't get me wrong. I love my YouTube audience. They are passionate. They are rowdy the way I like it. And we sometimes get into really intellectual discussions. Like, you don't always have to agree with me. That's okay. Sometimes they insult me because I criticize Pierre Poilievre, and I lose a lot of subscribers when that happens. Then they love me again when I criticize McCartney. It's kind of a bit of But by and large, my audience on YouTube seems to be conservatives. Here's where it gets interesting. I post the exact same content on TikTok, right? Hi, TikTok fam. Anyways, the TikTok algorithm seems to think that I'm a liberal, which is kind of weird because it's the same content. So it would seem that they have decided to box me in with a left-leaning audience. So I tend to get the most traction when I criticize Pierre Poilievre on TikTok. I get the odd comment here and there that accuses me of being paid by the liberals on TikTok. That happens once in a while. To be fair, those kinds of comments I find hilarious when they happen, because I wish someone would pay me. Like, maybe if they paid me, I can get a mic and you guys can stop teasing me about how shitty my mic is. For what it's worth, I have more followers on TikTok than I have subscribers on YouTube. I wonder what that's saying about me. Anyways, I'm thinking maybe some of you on TikTok might want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Wolf of Young Street Podcast. And those of you on YouTube, it is at Wolf of Young Street Pod on TikTok. It might be fun to sort of mix up the audiences a little bit, see if we can get some discussions going. I haven't been in a hurry to build this channel because my vision when I created this channel was to create a community where people can debate ideas across party divides. Unfortunately, it does mean at points that both sides of the divide are just pissed at me, which is kind of funny. My goal here is not to always echo what you already believe. I've said that many times. I won't always be complimentary of the politician you support. That's just not what I do. It's not what I believe in. And the truth is, I'm probably the only centrist channel in the whole of Canada, I guess, and possibly in the United States as well. Do you know why that is? It is because polarization sells. Think of whoever your favorite YouTuber or TikToker is. Like, tell me a time when you remember them being fair, just balanced in their coverage of politics. Because here's the thing, you guys. As much as you might not like Pierre Poilievre, he has some good ideas. One of those is cutting the consumer carbon tax. Guess what? Because the consumer carbon tax was removed, Canada's inflation rate went down from 2.3% in March to 1.7% in April. That is a good thing. In fact, the reason inflation didn't drop even more was because grocery prices went up. Now, why would grocery prices go up? Because grocery chains are greedy fucks who want to pad their profits, right? Anyways, I digress. Cutting the carbon tax was a policy championed by Pierre Poilievre. On the other side, as much as you might not like McCartney, it is probably true that he has the level head to lead Canada in this time of crisis. I'll give you an example. Yes, McCartney won an election by selling the idea of sticking it to Trump. He's a politician. He pressed where he saw he had the advantage. Tough shit for Pierre. Like, why didn't he adapt? That's on him. There is no excuse for blowing a 25-point lead. Like, there's no way you can excuse that for Pierre Poilievre. You might make the excuse that the NDP vote went to the Liberals. Now ask yourself why Pierre Poilievre didn't do enough to earn those votes. Why did those votes go to the Liberals? Why are conservatives now talking about making inroads with women voters? He had 2 years to make that case. My point here, if I just return to McCartney for a second here, is that yes, he won an election by selling a grift, sort of, but at the same time, he is pragmatic enough to choose to offer exemptions on retaliatory tariffs on goods that would impact Canadians. Now, I know my conservative friends are annoyed with that. They call it hypocrisy. Here's what I will say about that. I know I do not want a leader who will stick to a path that will hurt Canadians just to be a tough guy. I want a leader that will put the interest of Canadians first. It simply wasn't in our best interest to pursue retaliatory tariffs on goods that are inputs into Canadian production. It just didn't make sense. Now, that kind of perspective is what this channel is here to offer you guys. So I'll conclude with this, yeah? Look, I do not expect you to always agree with me. It is less fun that way, honestly. The beauty of this community for me is the debates that we have. But even if we disagree, there's no need to be nasty. There's no need to be unpleasant. And I think fundamentally, what we forget as Canadians is that irrespective of the party we support, we want the same things in the end. Like paychecks that go very far, houses that we can afford, safe streets. I shouldn't say we, that's what I want, right? There are a few extras around that sort of thing, but in general, those are things that we all want. And that is what I think we should always keep in focus when we have these arguments online, right? How can we as a people get the best outcomes? Now, personally, I couldn't care less about the political parties. Anyways, those are the updates. That's all I had to say. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe.